Welcome to another exciting episode of Phelps 3D. This tutorial for FreeCAD 016 is going to be about how to make rings in FreeCAD, the type you would actually wear. Now, there are multiple ways we could go about making a ring in FreeCAD. And of course, one of the first things you're going to want to know is what size is your finger. Now you can try to measure your finger, or you could use, if you know what your ring size is, you could use that and get a chart that tells you what the diameter would be. Now there's a good website online called www.ringsizes.co that will give you like the US ring sizes and Canadian sizes and European sizes, etc. So for me, my finger's pretty big and fat. So I wear about a size 11 ring. And according to their chart, that would be 20.68 millimeters in diameter. So we can use that as a guide to how to make our ring. So, like I said, there are so many different ways you could probably do this. You could do this in part using just the simple cylinders. And then I'll create another one. I'll create two cylinders. Make the first cylinder half of the 20.68. So the radius would be 10.34. Oops, my numlock's not on, sorry. Now you might want to make it a little bit bigger. I'll go to 10.36 just to give it a little more, make it a little bit looser for me, because I know, like I said 11 is about, well, I'd rather have it a little bit loose than have it too tight on my finger. You don't want to make it so that it's cutting off your circulation. And I probably only, well, this one doesn't matter, it's the other one that will matter. But I'm going to take a copy of that number, go over to the other cylinder, paste that number, and then I'm going to add, let's say 3. And then I'm going to make this only about 4 millimeters tall. And zoom out to all so you can see it. And then we want to take the bigger one and cut the smaller one. And so basically that would be like your most basic blank ring. Most likely, if you're doing this so that you want to actually wear it, you're not going to want these sharp edges. So let's fillet those and say okay, so that it's more of a nice smooth object. And then you can add things to it if you wanted. Maybe make a cone shape or something else. It really doesn't matter. This is just a really simple basic. But you could have also done one using a torus if you wanted. If you wanted it to be completely more round. So if you made a torus, let's move that torus up. And then this radius here is the size of the object. But you have to remember that's the middle. Think of it as the middle, I believe, or the outside. I can't remember right now. But let's try that. What was it? 10.3. I went to 6, right? Let's see. I think, what was that? Was that the outside? So it's not the outside or the inside. I think it's right in the middle of this. So let's see, what is this right now? $16.95. Okay. So if we want to, we need to make this bigger to match this. So okay, let's take. I'm gonna calculator time here. And if we wanted 20.68, but we've got to subtract 16.96. I'm gonna round it up. Equals 3.72. Then you want to divide that by 2. Equals 1.686. So we need to add that to this here. 10.36 equals. Then I'm going to copy that, bring it back over here, paste it in, and now hopefully this and that match the inner circles. Best way for me to find that out is to change the color, because when you're working with something like this, both colors being gray doesn't help. But it looks like that it now matches on the inside. So you could use the torus too, although sometimes I have a hard time with the Boolean operations on a torus. But that's a way to make a quick ring for a 3D printed project. I'm just going to hide those for right now and show you another way. I'm going to go over to part design and create a sketch XY plane. Try to hit the center. Escape. Let's make sure that those are on the center, just in case. And then we're going to do the radius again at the 10.36. Say okay. And say 13. And then we'll zoom back in. And what we're going to do is we're going to make one of those ones that are come down here and go click. Oops. sure that this and that pin together, this pin together. Just make that flat. And I'm going to use this constraint here. Make sure it's centered with that. Bring this down. Now whether or not this part will work might be a bit tricky, but click the trim. Click this section in here. Darn. Okay. Well, if the trim won't work, see how it's not doing that. Try just clicking this and clicking delete. And oops. Darn it. I don't know why the trim's not working on that. Okay, well, I may have to just do that. Delete that. And instead of using a full circle, we can use one of these here. Click there, go up, hit that point, spin around, and hit that point. And then we want to make sure that those are connected, just in case. And I'm going to bring this down a little more. And maybe move this node. Because it didn't look like it was coming in straight into the curve. You want it to look like it's this one part. I don't want it to be. Because otherwise it makes like a little notch or groove there when it 3D prints it. Okay, I'll close that, and hopefully if I connected everything this will work. And I'll just go 4mm for this one. And well, I don't want this top to be rounded, so I'm not going to fillet that edge or select that edge, but I'm selecting all the rest of it. Oops. I selected it. And we'll fillet that. And I'll leave the one. That looks good. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate around so I can see this edge. Select it. This face, I mean, not edge. Create a sketch. And I should have probably moved the sketch down. But I can go ahead and do this. Let's see. We're going to create sort of big circle there. And then, no, that won't work. I need to move it before I do this. Sorry. Want to move the sketch down too. That will move the object. Yeah. That's interesting. Maybe it's because it just moves. It moves the thing with it. So I'm just going to put that back where it was. Sorry. And try again. Okay. So I guess I'm stuck with it being there. Once. And we're going to set the radius. I'm going to say 4. And then these will be 3. And I want to set this so it's 2 millimeters. And you want these to be just overlapping a little bit. And what we're going to do is we're going to try the trim X tool. Now this time it's working. Oops. That is not what I wanted. What did it do? Let's hit escape. The trim X tool sometimes works just the way you want. Sometimes it doesn't. Okay. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control C, Control Z, Control Z. Okay, we're back to where I think they're all separate. Now, I thought these were anchored to this. I guess not. They need to be. Okay, let's see what happens if I reverse the trim. Which way was I going? I was going this way, right? There we go. That's what I wanted. So the Trim X tool is kind of weird. It takes a lot of getting used to, and a lot of times you're guessing which one or which part to try to click and remove. But that's the shape I wanted. Okay. Now, hopefully everything's still connected. I should be able to close. Rotate around. Now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pad it, but I'm going to say symmetric to the plane, which means it will build from where the sketch was. And then I'm going to say just, let's say 3. Let's say OK. Okay, and I'm going to see if I can fillet these edges here. Oops, not that face, those edges. I'm thinking like it's gonna probably disappear. No, it allowed it. Okay, I'll leave it at 1 then. Sometimes when it comes together like this, it just disappears. It doesn't want to work right. Now what I should have probably done is rotated, had that pattern this way instead of this way. But I'm just doing this for example purposes. It would be easier to print it if it was aligned with the top of this, just for your information. Now what I'm going to do is go over to, no, I don't even need to go there. I can go to macros. I'm going to use the geodesic dome macro. Execute. Now the dome radius is going to be, I want it to be smaller than the 4mm I created. So I'm going to put 3.75. And I'm going to just say 1 because I want it to be really faceted. So say OK. I'm going to take that geodesic dome and I'm going to move it. Oops, wrong one. And I want to move it in just a bit. Basically, I'm trying to create a fake looking diamond type object. Now, what you can do is you can copy that, paste it, and then you can change the, I think you can change it. Well, maybe not. I don't see a radius in here. Okay, well, I'll have to go back and reuse the macro. And, oops, I hit the wrong one. We'll use that one later. Since the other ones were 3mm radius, we'll go 2.75. And I think I'll leave it with the 2 instead of just the 1 this time. Make it a little more fast. Say OK. And then let's see, this is at 15. And then I'll bring this down. It's probably 4.5. Yeah. And then we'll copy copy that. There's 8.5 there, and 15. And so we've got kind of a fake diamond look here. And just select everything, go back over to part, perform a union. It didn't like that. Okay, so we gotta figure out why, or what. Well, there is something else we could try. We could take, copy it. No, I just need it. We could take the 3 geodesic domes, make them a union, because they're not even touching anything. Take that fusion, take the fillet we just made, and do a cut. And you didn't have to do that. You could create a cube and cut the domes by a cube. I just like to use the object that was already created. Now, we can now take that cut, hopefully, and the fillet, and fuse them together. Nope, cross my fingers. Well, that didn't work. The truth is, you don't really have to have it fused now, because as long as they're not overlapping, see, because we cut it. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Oh, I forgot. Sorry. I know what I'm doing wrong. Okay, want to know what I did wrong? I keep forgetting that the geodesic dome macro does not create a solid part. So you have to convert to solid. I did something wrong there. Okay, so it didn't like that. It didn't do that. And somehow the fillet on the bottom of this got messed up. So either I deleted the wrong pad, or I mean the wrong fillet. I may have done that. Okay. Let me fix it. I think I thought I was deleting the copy and messed it up. Now you see here, I've got these sticking out the bottom. I didn't realize that either when I was doing it. What I could do is just try to move the domes up a little bit. 0.5. That looks better. Let's see. Now, all of these need to be converted into a solid. That's probably where I'm having a problem. make the originals disappear, hide them. Now let's see if these will. Let's see if they'll merge it together this time. Sometimes just moving certain things will let you do something you couldn't before. But like I said, in this case, those were not solid, so it could be affecting the union. There we go. Yay! Alrighty. Now for this type of an object, I'd probably print it facing up. The fun thing you could have done is you could have colored these while you were creating the parts, but I didn't here. It's all just that. But we could go File, Save, Ring Examples is what I'm going to call this. And File, Export. I call it a Fox Diamond Ring. Size 11. You might want to do that if you're trying to make a whole lot of different versions. Do different sizes, put in what size they are. Save. And I'm just going to check it really quick in NetFab to make sure it's printable. And Autodesk evidently bought up the NetFab company. So you may have a hard time trying to find NetFab Basic at all. They've switched to a more subscription types system, and they want you to pay for anything pretty much. Evidently they've even removed the Microsoft NetFab Online version or something, or redirected everyone back to their webpage on it, which really sucks. Because evidently the online version now only produces a, is it 3MF file or something like that? It's not pulling an STL, a repaired STL file. So if you are not already moving on to Microsoft's version of the 3D printing thing, file format, then you're kind of SOL on it. A lot of other people have complained about that. So just to warn you, if you want to, you better go see if you can find an old version, cached version somewhere out there to get this. It's no longer going to be available the way it was. It's not going to do the same things. This is one of those cases where corporate world is encroaching, and hopefully maybe people out there that has the intelligence, smarts, etc. can help people. There is another site, I think, called makeprintable.com that you could also try to run your files through to make sure that they'll work. Okay, Fox Diamond Ring. Open. There's a problem. So we repair, automatic repair, execute, apply repair, move hold part, and we can take a look at it. So yeah, if I was printing this, I would print it so that this bottom here is the bottom, I'd have a raft and I'd put supports on it. Optimize, export. And we close that. No. Alright, so that's one way to do the ring. But we can do something even more interesting. So I'm just going to hide that. Start over, go to part, design, create a sketch. But this time I'm going to go, let's see, XZ plane. Alright, so what I'm going to do now, I'll come over here, click. Actually, I wanted to reverse that. Okay, I can change it later. Now what we want to do is set the size by setting the distance here. And so 10.36, that's what I'm going to say. Okay. Zoom in. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and make this a block. So that's just square. I should just draw on a square. I'm going to make that line 5. And this on 6. Actually, I'm going to go 8. This is going to look like it's a really thick ring, but I'm going to be modifying it slightly in a bit. I'm going to close that. So I just had this. Now that's out from the distance of where. You take that sketch, you rotate it. Say okay. Okay, so we created this ring, or circular part. But what we're going to do is we're going to go back over into part. I'm going to create a cube. I'm going to make the cube 4 high. The width is going to be 30. And I'm going to move it negative 15, negative 15, and maybe I should have made it 40. 40, 40. Doesn't matter if it's too big, just as long as it's cutting through the entire. And then I'm going to make it go down negative 3. And here's the fun part. You want to take and you want it to rotate along the y-axis here. Or you could do X. It depends on which view you want. Right now I'm looking at it from the Y, and might move it down one more. Okay, and I'm going to take that and I'm going to mirror it. I'll say YZ and see what happens. Okay, good. So we can take the mirror and move it up. Now, do you see what I'm going to, can you think of what I'm going to do here? Take the revolution, control first cube, cut, take the cut, cut again. This gives you that tapered looking ring. And I'm going to select all the, oops, all those. I'm going to make the 0.75 instead of 1, just a little bit smaller than I was doing before. Okay, so that's just a ring. There's nothing really special about it yet, but what I'm going to try to do, let's see if I remember. I made that, what, 5, right? So what I'm going to do is, sorry, I'm going to open up WordPad and I'm going to switch my language over to Chinese and type in here O A Ni. O A Ni in Mandarin Chinese is I love you. I'm going to copy that. And then I'm going to go into the macros, and this is where I said, oh, we'll get to the text one. I'm going to type in this, paste it in. Huh. Okay, well. Sorry. It used to be I couldn't type that in even though it was there. I'm going to switch back to my English keyboard. Close that and say no, I don't want it. Whoops. And we got to find out what font. Now, this thing likes to stay on top. I'll move it over. Okay, Windows, fonts. Because if I don't tell it the right font, it's going to goof up. Oops, went too far. I think, let's see. Simpson. I want the extra bold one. So right click on it, say properties. Copy that. Place it here. Now the radius, it's going to be outdoor. The radius should be the, well, we want to go to 5, but maybe just a little bit inside of it. So we're going to put 24.75. And the character size, we're going to put, now if it's, what was it, 6 high, so let's say 5. And this one, I want it to only be about 30 degrees, so let's say 30. I don't want correction angles. I don't think it needs any correction angles. And I want it to extrude out about 2.5 millimeters. And hopefully that'll work. Now I may have to move it around because of where it thinks 0 and I hadn't tried this with the macro. I haven't ever tried using that. Yikes. Okay. Well, maybe instead we'll have to go back to English because I don't know why it didn't extrude those out. Or I could do a regular text string that's just flat and stick it on there. But I was trying to use that one and make it look pretty. Sometimes you try something, that's when you learn it don't work. We could try something else. I'm gonna try a different. How about this one? This was I. Well, I'll just do the view. Simple enough. That I have before. I went 14.75. Size of characters 5. 30. No correction angle, no correction angle. 2.5. Run. Exit. Oh boy. That jumbled the letters all up. Good thing is you can move the letters on your own if you want. Or you can just rerun the L is probably fine. Oops. Sorry. I'm just going to do it again. Um, 'Cause I think the size could be smaller too. Let's try 4. Let's try 45. Actually, let's make this into 14.5. Run. Psh, they're still. Jumbled together. Um, 60. No correction angles. That's better. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to merge those all together. Oops. Yeah, that's good. And then we're going to rotate them on the Z until they're here. Should be 180. Nope. Well, almost. And it's up to you. In this instance, I would probably cut it. But if the Chinese characters had worked, I would have left it as an extrude. More than likely. But yeah, I could probably change the positioning of that to where the U and V aren't overlapping. But you get the idea. That can be another ring. Save. File. Export. Run Netfab Basic and check it before you try printing it. No problems, no errors, so that's good to go. Alright, I hope this helps you with your jewelry designs. Like and subscribe, etc. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.